Secretary of State Ralph Wallace, Treasurer Frank Caprio, the Democratic Party Chairman Bill Lynch, Ambassador Joe Paolino, my great friend Mark Weiner, and others in the audience who are helping Hillary. I'd like to thank Corey Pescatero, who performed for you before I came here. He's been playing for me since he was just a young boy. He used to come to the White House to play for me. I'm so proud of him and the accomplishments. I also want to thank Bryant University's president for giving me some workout clothes in this cap. Put it up here and give you some free publicity on the cameras there. Let me say to all of you, I'm glad to be back in Rhode Island. No state in America has been better to me and to our family. You have always been there. And when I was president, I tried to be there for you. So I hope on March 4th, you will be there for Hillary. Can we turn this on? There you go. So I want to talk a little about this election.
Talk it out.
On March the 4th, I believe, with your help, Hillary will win the primaries in Ohio and Texas and Rhode Island. And if that happens, I was just in Philadelphia today, and the governor and the mayor of Philadelphia, who have both supported Hillary strongly, said, you do that, we'll bring her home here, and then people will have a very different idea about who the Democratic nominee and the next president of the United States is going to be. So, I came here to ask you all, not only to vote for Hillary in the primary, but to talk to everyone you can between now and Tuesday, to get as many votes as you can, and to get as many people that go to the polls as you can. If she can win a big victory here in Rhode Island, win in Ohio, win in Texas, this campaign will be on the way to the nomination in the White House, and you will have a better future. So this has been a fascinating election, and what I think it shows is that the overwhelming majority of the American people know we have to change course. They know what we're doing economically on the home front is not working. And they know we have to change course in the world. I mean, after all, more than half the world seems to be mad at us. In a world where we need to cooperate with others. I believe it is also true that the vast majority of the people voting in the Democratic primaries actually like both the candidates. And they're trying to decide how to choose a president. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I watched these last two debates. I don't know if you have. There was one in Texas and there was one in Ohio. And I thought they were both quite revealing. Because one candidate said, you should vote for me because we need to change the country and I embody change. It is an advantage that I have not been involved in making good things happen or stopping bad things from happening. It is an advantage that I just got to Washington, because that way I wasn't involved in any of those terrible fights that happened before. And we got to begin again. So we should disqualify people who have been a part of doing things that, even if they were good things in the past. And that argument has worked to eliminate Senator Biden, Senator Dodd, Governor Richardson, the first Hispanic American president, all these people who really had remarkable records in public service. And I think it's very important what Senator Obama's done in inspiring people, involving a lot of new people, getting people to give money over the internet, all that sort of stuff. It's important. Hillary's argument is quite different. Her argument is, of course we have to change, but in order to do it, the president needs to be a change maker. I have spent a lifetime making changes in other people's lives. This election fundamentally is about you, not us, the candidates, about you, the American people, your future. I think America should work pretty much the way this crowd is, she would say. I mean, look around the crowd. Here we are. We're united without regard to race or gender or age or religion. The best of all of our universities are places that empower people, where you celebrate your diversity and stay together because our common humanity matters more, where we know we have to go forward together. Just the opposite of what has been happening in America in the last 7 years. So she says, I want you to vote for me because I've worked hard to make changes in other people's lives, and you know I can do it. I'm change you can count on, change in your life for your future. I think that's the better argument. I think that's the better argument. And you can say, well, you know, what's he going to say? They're married. I mean, come on. You can say that. And it's true, I do love her, but I also love my country. I love my country. And I've been thinking about it a lot, because yesterday was our daughter's 28th birthday. So I was thinking, she's been working all over America, going to colleges, seeing young people for her mother. And she says she knows her record better than I do, and is even better, which is probably true. But I was thinking about that because I want you to know this. Knowing what I know about the demands and the possibilities of the presidency and the challenges this country faces at this moment, if I had never been married to Hillary and she asked me to come here and campaign for her today, I would do it in a heartbeat, because I honestly believe she's the best candidate for president I've ever had a chance to support. She is the best suited for this time. And I want to tell you why. First of all, when the president takes the oath of office, you pledge to be the chief executive first. What does that mean? It does not mean that you're going to run one of the government departments or decide how many paper clips are on the desk at the White House. That's not what it means at all. It means you are the one who has taken an oath to be personally responsible to turn the good intentions of the campaign into real changes in other people's lives. And she is the best at that I've ever known. When we met and we were in law school, most people couldn't wait to get out of law school. You do 1 year and you just want it to be over. You know, get out, pay your bills, go on with your life. But she took another year to work at the university hospital. Because in those days, believe it or not, there were almost no protections in American law against severe child abuse and neglect. So we'd have dinner, I'll never forget this, over and over again, and she'd say, you're not going to believe this. I was at the hospital today, they bring in all these kids with cigarette burns on their arms, kids that hadn't been fed in 10 days or 2 weeks. And in those days, the legislatures of all the states were so afraid of interfering in family disciplinary decisions that there were no protections. So she spent that extra year working with the people there in her project to develop guidelines to give to all the states. Now, every state in America protects its children against that kind of child abuse and neglect. That's the kind of change she was making, even as a young woman. So then she gets out of law school. And it wasn't like it is now. More than half the graduates from law school today are women. Back then, it was a rare thing. And she could have written her ticket, gone anywhere, taken a lot of big bucks jobs. Instead, she took a low-paying job working for the Children's Defense Fund, knocking on the doors of poor people's houses not far from here in New Bedford, Massachusetts, to find out why so many of their children were dropping out of school. And she and her young friends learned, people working on this project, that most of these kids were dropping out of school because they had a mental or a physical disability, usually a very minor one. But in those days, the schools were not even equipped with teachers trained to handle kids with like minor dyslexia, something that we don't even give a second thought to today. So they put together the findings of their research, they sent it to Congress, and it became the basis for Congress to enact the sweeping landmark special education law that today guarantees an equal and appropriate public education to all of our kids without regard to their disabilities. She was changing the future for people, even as a very young woman.